Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spaceship Stream, and we are here with the garden. It's pretty cool, although it's actually cooler weather technically, but the tropical weather is coming through, so it's going to be a little bit more tropical than usual. So it's much cooler, and we're not going to have a sunrise because the sky is kind of a mixture of different colors. I'll show you what I'm trying to explain here. So, see, it's like a mixture of different colors. Like you have hey Lemon, great to see you. You have a mixture of gray and dark blues. So that's basically the sun where it was supposed to be at, but it's not really doing anything right now. So yeah, that is where it is, and we have our garden here, and we will be morning, Lori. It's great to see you as always. Yeah, and it is just a lot of times when the tropical, or it's the same thing as a typhoon, right? When a lot of these tropical things come through, you'll see sometimes weird spiders blow in from different parts of the world, and it'll completely disrupt an ecosystem where they will have so many, different bugs or animals or birds that come through. Oh, okay. Awesome, Lori. Glad that you'll be listening. Yeah, so it feels like October a little bit, where it gets cooler, and you have like a feeling, oh, it's getting cooler, but it's actually about to be something else. So yeah, and it is kind of like, it's convenient weather, but it's like the humidity is very low right now. And like it could be like 80 degrees, but it feels like 60 degrees. And here's the okra plant. And yeah, I mean, also about spiders, I just saw a little baby Hutzman a few moments ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, they have quite a bit of them where you are. And where I am too. What's the most dangerous spider that you've seen? Where I am, it's the brown recluse, I'd say, or the black widow. Yeah, so this is the okra plant, and it is huge. Chat and passion won't have to ever be hungry with this we have here. All this food. Yeah, and hey, there she is. Howdy, Pash. And yeah, this is just a full bush of food just growing all over. Oh, hello there, Saw. So, good morning to you and everyone else that is here. Great to see everybody. And we have our flowers that is going to be blooming, and they're just all over the place. There are two, all nice, fresh, coming out this way. Yeah. Okay, and here is the tomato plant getting bigger. All right. So yeah, the garden update is basically we have the just an abundance happening just everywhere. It's like a bushes of them are growing. So all the weather we have that is rainy and stormy, which I need to do a rain live stream at some point. That'd be pretty cool to do. I just have to do stuff to make sure everything goes well. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool when we do that. Now, if it's lightning, probably not like directly in it, but maybe like in a safer spot if lightning's around. If there's no lightning, I don't mind, because I'm gonna do an electrical discharge and start zapping people when I don't want to do that. And oh, thank you, Passion. Yeah, and yeah, so that is some cool ideas. And let's see. Musty says, yeah, about the spider thing you said, apparently we had tarantulas here, I think before. I'm pretty sure they're very dangerous. I thought tarantulas aren't dangerous, or they're very venomous, but they don't bite people. Ah, good idea, Passion. The lightning rods work wonders. But as I said, let's see. Are they dangerous? 'Cause I think they're like either really dangerous and they don't bite, or they're dangerous. Let's see. Okay, all tarantulas are venomous, but they're not considered poisonous. Their venom is rarely deadly to humans, and generally compared to a mild, moderate bee sting. However, some African and Asian species possess more potent venom that can cause muscle cramping, intense pain, or temporary sickness. Obviously, any wood that is blasted off by lightning should be carved into YouTube logo. Yes, I agree, Passion. It should be carved into a YouTube logo, definitely. Yeah. They only bite when threatened, I think. Yes. Yeah, I think most creatures bite when they're threatened, but some of them bite to hunt. So yeah, that is a good observation. All right, so tarantulas are generally docile, typically only bite as a last resort when cornered, mishandled. Aside from their fangs, they have another defense mechanism. Utilating hairs on the abdomen. When threatened, they can flick these tiny barbed hairs into the air. These hairs can cause severe itching, skin irritation, and respiratory eye issues. For bite, wash the affected area thoroughly with soap and water. Apply a cold compress and seek medical attention. For hair exposure, eye, respiratory tract, seek immediate help to prevent damages. Obviously, and I obviously think that I didn't know that they're venomous. I had like mixed information, like they're venomous, or that they're poisonous, but not that poisonous. It was so that is the truth about them. Okay, everything here is checking well, and look what we have here. Oh, hello, Eric. We caught tarantulas in the street after rainstorms in Texas, put them in a jar, and let it go later. Oh, that had to be fun. It's fishing for tarantulas. Yeah, and good morning to you. Yeah, okay, this is a tall, these are sunflower type plants right here. They're not sunflowers, but they're cousins with them, and they're getting really big. So that's good to see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is very fun for people, especially kids, to go out of their way to find a tarantula, then go and after finding one, putting it in a jar and observing it, because from a study point of view, it's pretty fascinating how the plant work. I mean, how the tarantula works and how they go around and they'll crawl around. They're always used in horror movies or some sort of mystery flick. That is certainly something that happens a lot of the time. Okay, and we got the elephant ear plants. They probably need some help. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. All right, and Lemon said, all right, I'm pretty sure I haven't said this before, but one time, not so far away in the forest, that's where we're going to call it for now, the forest. Little kid me was running and exploring and stuff. Oh, I like to know what happened. You see, my character with the name I have went into the forest and found a random gingerbread house, but it was a witch inside of it that wanted to eat children. So hopefully you didn't come across something like that. Scared. All right. So, so definitely in the forest there are undiscovered creatures and things like that are existing in there. And I think that is really cool that they're undiscovered, but at the same time, it could be a lot of spooky things too. Oh, from a thorn plant, yeah. That there are all kinds of thorn plants that just like you're just walking randomly, and then all of a sudden it just ruins the moment, and then that happens. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really cringe when that occurs. I've had it happen to me before. Okay. All right. Oh, you had a little cactus plant. Oh, I had a little cactus plant when I was little. It was very fascinating to me. It was cool to see what different things happened with it. Because, it was just little and it would be in a pot and it would grow over time. But it was, since it was a little pot, it didn't grow like very huge. But yeah, I had the same thing. It was pretty cool. And you just put it conveniently right in the window. I later made the mistake of dipping said scratch foot in nasty muddy bacteria infested creek. Yeah, the infested creek is not a good idea. And sometimes you may not know if something is contaminated necessarily. And that is a pumpkin plant being pollinated by a moth. It's pretty cool. And the pumpkin's just like being a vine. It's in vine mode. Arg, Matt. Mark. Oh, look at this, Chad. It's growing bigger. This is a cucumber, chat, and it's growing big. Ahoy, Mark. And later, after I got home from school, foot hurt really bad, and when peeled back sock, pimple and blisters oozing pus. In a jar, yeah. Oh, yeah, that had to be very freaky to happen when it did. Thinking nothing of it, I just put a little ointment and it went about a day. Okay, that is good. It went away. A lot of times, people here will get a little scratch or an itch and they think the world's ending, but there's all kinds of things that can cause worse problems. Like what you went through. Yeah. All right, and he said, then I noticed another blister and another thing, you can see where this goes. Yeah. And there's a lot of times when the soldiers were in that part of the world during different wars, they got sick from different things. like that. And these plants are getting ginormous. Oh, and that's a pretty cool scene right there, chat. It's like a dark cloud and all these trees. Yeah, it's pretty mysterious. Okay, this eventually led up to the top layer of my skin and my shin, peeling off and unnerving large strips. Yeah, that would that would be really freaky to happen. Scared. And you felt sick too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it was like it felt like a brain-eating amoeba was going into you. Yeah. Okay, so it's like a fever, but not a fever. All right. What cured it? Do you remember, like, what cured it to get you to feel better? Because they don't even have, like, probably had hospitals and stuff, like, to go to. Yeah, you know, they're recently giving immunity to people that were UFO whistleblowers, which I think is a positive thing because it needs to be exposed. You know, definitely. Because apparently they don't talk about things because of the secrecy, whatever. So it's good that they kind of let them say what they want to say. All right. So Mark says, we got bird flu going on here. Trying to make people scared, but it's not going to work this time. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Like COVID-19. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And the pandemic. Lemon says, and about my skin peeling off, like how a snake would shed. This freaked my mom out so bad, really bad. Oh yeah, I'm sure she was very freaked out. Yeah. You're basically falling apart from radiation. As that's true. When they have a theory, if radiation or an atomic bomb dropped, if like you sat in a car, everything would just start falling apart on you. Like your teeth and everything would just fall out. And if you got into a shower, it would just, like, your skin would just come off. So it seems like radioactive. It went away after a week or so. Well, that's good. The rent was too high, and the disease left. Yeah. Oh, chickens are in lockdown right now, and they're gonna give y'all try to give y'all the bugs to eat, because that's what their agenda might be. But yeah, that they like to do a lot of fear mongering, the Timu Sheen fear mongering. But I still have minor scar from the blisters. Like, there are circular patches on my foot. I think it was some sort of bacterial infection. Still not sure. Okay. But yeah, you see, Eric, rather, the antibiotics or anything, even if it's bug spray, like if there's bug spray being used, the bugs eventually get immune to it. So if there's an immunity that is built by the diseases, it'll be less likely for them to bring it back. You know, it'd be less likely for them to be taken out by it. You know, because when something's used too much, the diseases and stuff, or whatever, the bacteria, it gets built an immunity to it, and it's hard to really get rid of it. So I agree with that making sense. Also, my pregnant stray cat friend has joined the live. She just walked in the door and made herself at home. Oh, shout out to the stray cat and her future kittens. Glad she came to the live. And yeah, it is just, I think in general, if something's too clean, it's possible that there would not be an immunity to diseases. So basically, like some parasites or germs, whatever, is able to make something stronger, similar to life. Like in life, if there's people or situations that are not really that great, it builds your own immunity to those things, right? So I think the lack of being completely avoiding something like with the bacterias or the antibiotics actually causes the opposite effect when something real happens. When repellent candles work great for mosquitoes. Yes. There is actually this bracelet that I wore that repels mosquitoes. I don't have it right now. I have to get a new one, but it is pretty cool and it repels against the mosquitoes. I like those. And the candles also are very good because, see, the candles are natural. The candles are part of nature. And although the sprays work most likely, which I use the sprays sometimes, another thing that works wonders is the candles too. Yeah, so it's like when someone's trying to prevent something so badly, it actually backfires and the thing happens worse than you thought it could have happened before. Here's the haunted chair. Yeah, and you see, in mosquitoes, that's where a lot of the soldiers would get sick. They would go and in the jungles and they would get malaria and from being around the different mosquitoes. Yeah, it's a haunted chair. Okay, so sometimes when I'm over here or when I'm like, I'll be like, one night I was talking to Odin, like in this area, looking at the moon, and the chat was telling me they were hearing moaning and a growl sound of some kind that I didn't really pick up on, and they heard one time it was there in the morning like this, like a day like this, it was kind of cloudy, and I passed by the chair and they heard some kind of grunting, and I didn't really catch it, and they played it back and they could hear it. Roman did, and the other ones too. So we call it the haunted chair, but this region in general is kind of paranormal because like over this way, I was recording this tree one time like a couple of years ago, and I played it back and I could hear a female voice and some gibberish, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I didn't hear it though at the time. That is true, Saw. That is true. And whoever else was living here at the time. But those people as well. Yeah. This area actually was where all that took place. Saw. That's why the soil is so good to grow things. I don't think I have the recording still. If I find it, I'll let you know. I'll go send it to you. Yeah, but it was a disturbing situation. But yeah, but I'll definitely send it to you if I find it. There is this, but yeah, Saw, this region's where it happened. like I'd say, like where I'm standing, there is either fields of things or building structures in this very spot. Seesaw when a beloved cat passes away, and sometimes we would give it a grave, give it like a funeral, right? Because sometimes pets don't live forever, unfortunately. And when I've dug underground, I found bricks, and some of the bricks are like chalk, right? So they were made from the Mississippi River and from the clay and stuff from there. And that's from the 1800s. So there were big buildings here, or big fancy houses here at some point, and they just left them here, and then they demolished them when they were abandoned, and they filled it up with some more gravel and stuff, and seashells and coffee grinds, whatever. And they built around the 1900s. Yes, that's true, Saw. And in the 1900s, they built these houses, for the, as like a new beginning, right? Like, you see how that house is big, and then that one is, they're over 100 years ago. But yeah, they kind of look like that, but it was built, after that, though. So over this way, it's like, for instance, like it was based, like this specific design was based on California type houses back in the early 1900s. So when they demolished the other buildings, they put them there, and they built these very large yards that most yards in this region of the world don't, like in this city and state, don't look this big at all. You only could find things like this in the country somewhere, but they wanted to give it an estate type feel to it, like kind of like being in the country, being in the city at the same time. That's why everybody thinks it's a acres, but it's not acres. It's just it's a long lot. Yes, Mark, there very well may be something like that. Yeah. Arg. I've dug underground over where the crawfish are, and I found plugs from 100 years ago and bottles and stuff. And the reason why they had bottles was because people used to bury their trash and bottles underground before they had garbage cans, and it was around that time period. When they were constructing these houses in the 1900s, they used portable plugs. So yeah, that's what they used. But yeah, the buildings were in this location, and it was a very big place. It was like a city of those, things and types of farms and plantations and stuff. It was mainly the plantations. They were in this area a long time ago. And then so this place wasn't attacked like the other parts of the South. It was, they surrendered early on. So what they did is they eventually just got abandoned. And this was just like an abandoned big houses and little cabins and stuff. Then they tore them down. So that's how that worked. The reason why the soil is so rich is because it was not dealt with for a very long time. It was from the Mississippi River and different things like that. And it was not used, so it became very, very fruitful. And all the buildings that used to be here was good fertilizer for the soil. And that helped it out too. So that's why the plants do well. And also saw this tree right here that was brought by the Ben Franklin brought this type of tree to America from China, and they grow them in Georgia and the North, and they use them to harvest the seeds for making candles and soaps. So this is another thing that would have been fields of these things. This was used by the indigenous natives for food a long time ago. It's a tallow tree, a Chinese tallow. And right here, we know the indigenous natives, the Native Americans used this for food a long time ago. So yeah, it's that's why this area is rich with it. So back in the I thought that some of these places were from the 1800s, but they were built afterwards. Oh, they have a amusement park called Rainbow's End Treasure there, apparently. Arg. Have you heard of fish falling from the sky? Yes, Mark. Okay, so there's a time, there's something in England too. There's an incident, this crazy thing that happened where fish were raining out the sky. And it was some bizarre phenomena that happened. Oh, okay, Lemon. See you in a bit. Yeah, but that was some crazy stuff that happened. It was this incident that occurred where the sky was raining with fish, and it was a phenomenon. Somehow, the wind currents and the way the fish were at the right place at the right time, and they were carried from one place to another, and that's how the fish got here. I mean, got to England and probably other places too. It's when the wind current and the fish, everything's all together at the right place at the right time. And that happens. And Mark said pigs can fly. Hilarious, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely far-fetched when that happens. You know, nature will have ways of doing things impossible. Yeah, and there's these other situations that occurred with oh, look at this. Yeah, that's going to be growing something. Yeah, pigs make really good pets, I agree. Pigs are very cute. Oh, look at this. We have a flower blooming. Okay, and also saw back in the day, they would eat okra there. It was brought over by the slaves in the beginning, and then they would grow it on their own plots of land, and they would eat it, and then eventually everybody started eating it on those estates, then it became like a classic thing for everybody to have around the world. Yeah. Okay, those nursery rhymes go back a bit. Woohoo! Yes. Hey, back. Bought some food for later. Oh, that's good. What food did you get? I'm curious. Oh, good morning, Fifi. Welcome to the stream. There's no sun, but there's some kind of like cool, spooky sky right here. I'll show y'all right here. Yes, I agree. Fairy tales are violent and quite scary. Definitely agree. Absolutely. Okay, so that is the Timu Sheen sun right there. Because it's not. It looks like an eye opening, but it's not really an eye opening. It's like an abyssal eye, right there. Scared. Okay, so you're welcome, Grace. Yeah, and then they brought it into the kitchens of the estates, and then it became like a classic staple for the rest of society. Yeah. Oh, the sun's coming out now. Okay, so yeah, so that's our sun right there. It, like, you could see the sun shining on all this, but you can't really see the sun itself. It's kind of spooky in a way. Yeah, so there are a lot of ghosts sightings. Saw. And phantoms and things like that. And I remember there's this one incident that happened. I've said it before, but I want to say it again for everybody here. Is that there's one time when I was... Oh, Miss C, good morning to you. All right. There was one time when I was seeing the cats around 3 in the morning, and it was around winter time. I was going to turn their heaters off, and I would go watch things on my phone and hang out with the cats for a little bit. And there's there is this wall on the far left, and the other, like behind me, there's like another room behind me. It's like a cage, but it's a nice. It's like a gymnasium looking cage. I exactly saw a girl, and I believe in the paranormal or something else explanation besides us. Yeah, so that was in there, and I heard this knocking on the wall, and it was a weird spot. It was like the top part to the left, and no one could get in there if there was a person, and if there's a crawl space in the top of it, but it just would be kind of awkward to get there like that. It's just kind of weird, and so that is what, and I heard the knocking, and the cats heard it too. They all start looking at the wall. They all start... Motorcycle. They all started looking at the wall, and they looked kind of a little surprised, and I eventually went back home, but it was weird. And it's like, if there's a person in there, I'll do what I gotta do. But, it was in a weird, awkward spot where I don't think a person could really get there. So I was just kind of like, it has to be something supernatural, like one of those, like a jinns, which I've talked about those before. Some sort of spirit thing, like a genie, or some sort of uh, ghost or other type of thing. So, yeah, or something demonic or whatever, right? So it must have floated upwards in that region, knocked to pull a prank on me or something. And another time I was, and shout out to Miss C, good to see her. Good morning. And I was, one time I was walking in the other area. Like sometimes I do the garden lives in another spot when the cellular, or either the cellular goes out or the phone goes out, and I do it from a different location sometimes. But over the other area, I was chilling at nighttime, and I heard a knock. I mean, I didn't hear a knock. Something tapped me on my shoulder, and there's no one around me, and I thought, oh, yes, Lemon, I've heard about it. Yeah, it's from lettuce apparently. Yeah, Moki was telling me about it. So, good morning, Doe. Yeah, the poop lettuce ticks. Yeah. So that's what happened. They tapped me on my shoulder, and I didn't see anybody. So those are my paranormal experiences that I had so far. Oh, there's some knocks in some weird places in my house, and sometimes there will be something that flies off the table. And one time my mom had something fly off the dresser for no reason. And this region right here is kind of weird, where there's some, one time over right this region right here in this spot, there was a trumpet thing I heard. It was like a blast, like kind of like the Bible horns, like a biblical horn. So that's something. So those are paranormal experiences. But yeah, there's all kinds of slavery, slavery stories that you talked about. Yeah, that you mentioned. There's a ghost from that, and there's ghost from various different events that occurred in the past. And there was also, they did voodoo and magic here too, which, yeah, so there's different things floating around. Yeah. Hoodoo voodoo. Yes. Yes. Yes, they do happen globally. That's true. One time I was with my friends in 2008 where we were chilling, and I was like up the street, and we heard the blast of the horns, and it was really deep. It was like a Viking horn, and they were telling me it was like the apocalypse was about to happen. I was like, oh, okay. The return of Jesus. Well, technically, the Antichrist would come first, and then Jesus returns. But yeah, so the apocalypse would be starting to happen. Good morning, Lizard. Tropical storms are coming. Scared. Apparently, those happen because of lightning metrics blowing up the sky, pressure changing, according to scientists. Oh, okay. I appreciate it. But see, it was a clear day both times it happened, so it's a little bit mysterious. But yeah, there is a scientific explanation, especially something happening in the earth. There's something in the earth too that causes it. So yeah, I've heard about that as well. So thank you for the scientific explanation. Shout out to Grace. Sleepy Grace. Well, it's a nice morning to wake up to an alien spaceship. Yes, it could be geoengineering too. That's possible. Scared. Yeah, there definitely is an inner Earth, like a hollow Earth theory. Oh, 61 degrees. It's cool. It's much cooler over there than where I am. Yeah, so scared. Yeah, so definitely, I believe the hollow Earth theory, the inner Earth, or like something is like define the Matrix, where it could just go blasting a horn, and then you see something like that happen. Okay, and right there is, see, we got okra growing. We have a couple of yellow flowers. This whole bush of it. And, you know, and the okra is used in all kinds of soups, and it's also fried. And I use it in another thing. I use it in something called an alien salad. So yeah, used in gumbo, etc. Also, apparently, scientists have found what seems like traces of Theia, the planet that crashed into the Earth billions of years ago, thus creating the moon Earth's core. Oh, they finally found it. That's good. That's good, because it definitely did exist at one time. Oh, cherries are delicious. Oh, they're good for after surgeries. That is true. They're very good after surgeries. Okay, Mark, what kind of ice cream did you have? You have to share it with all of us now. We aren't going to let you get away with that. For swelling, etc. Yeah. Okay. So we got a little lurker right here. He has a strawberry ripple ice cream. Oh, that's delicious. I like that. Oh, that's good. Hopefully that all goes well. because with the strawberries, strawberries are a very good plant. I've not grown them this year, but I plan on growing them maybe next year. But yeah, strawberries are very delicious. I would certainly grow them how we grow these other plants. Like we have the cucumbers, we'll have strawberries too. We'll put them around here somewhere. So yeah, I definitely that type of ice cream is very delicious. Oh, your house is my house siding. Oh, that's good. That's good to get that done. Yeah, very uh, perfect weather for that. And as I said, everything from a plant tastes better than from the grocery stores. I saw mail from FedEx Coast said didn't order FedEx freight truck be delivering siding tile. Okay, well, if you're getting some siding done, I hope it all goes well for you today. Hey, so we got this cool effect happening where the clouds are peeking through, the blue sky is peeking through the trees. And that is nice. Nice. What is strange is I switched to fluoride-free simple toothpaste, and I have been dreaming more very interesting. Oh, that could be a possibility. That it's influencing your dreams in a positive way. And did you have bad dreams from it? Were they weird dreams? I probably would grow the strawberries in the ground, like right there. And I wouldn't put them in pots. I would just put them in the ground. They say got proof Navy caused the earthquake in Peru. It's country that starts with U and S and A. You know where that is? Yeah, I am. I know where that's at. I have an idea. I have just a really wild idea where it might be. Scared. And oh, you didn't dream much before. Were the dreams bad or strange, or were they good? I'm just curious. Oh, good morning, Jojo. All right, and yeah, as I said, with this right here, we're watching, the flower just unfold. It's so cool. And as the sun comes back, the sun has returned, and we get to see it like this. This is so cool. I'm doing fine in chat now. We're having a cool conversation about a variety of different trending things. So yeah, it's really cool. Right now, this garden harvest is incredible. Like, it's doing fantastic. I did my research. I calculated when things would be grown, whatever, and I got it right. Yes, oh, thank you, absolutely. Mostly moments from my childhood, very pleasant. Oh, I'm glad it's pleasant dreams. Yes, Miss C, it's the plant I was just showing a moment ago is okra. And this one right here is the cucumber. Rumors about Christchurch quake might be true. Cost $1 billion and lives rest in peace. Yeah, yeah. They'll for their agendas and their wars they want to cause. They will do. They want the control and power and to push different you know conflicts and things. So, oh yeah, thanks, bro. Lizard, bro. Yeah, it's completely free of that. Everything all natural. Looks like there's gonna be two blossoms today. It's been a while since we've seen the blossoms because when we do these live streams, the blossoms will just unfold while we're live. It'll just open up. Yeah, so there are ghosts in the city. I mean, they have the rest of the city. They have famous houses that are famously haunted, and they're really, disturbing backstories on why they're haunted. And I've been in them before. I've been in a haunted hotel before over here. It's kind of weird. Like, random stuff will happen that you didn't do, or like things will move around that didn't move around. It's quite mysterious. There's, of course, a lot of sightings that happen from the beginning. There's entities, there's people, there's all kinds of things that are around. So it's a very haunted place and it's very spooky. There's conspiracies that women that were brought here from France were carrying coffins. They had these like um, box bags that would bring, and they look kind of like coffins. And they thought they were bringing vampires from Europe over here. So there's all kinds of different theories about what was going on. So yeah, it's a very haunted place. That's probably why we have ghost sightings on stream. That's why we have ghost, encounters in general that I know about. And so, yeah, shout out to the paranormal, because it's probably like a whole village of people from a long time ago. I said, I don't know who they are or exactly, or what they come from or where they come from, but they're there. So it is what it is. All right, and here is the skies. Yeah, so this is the blue sky and the white clouds. Oh, thank you, so. Oh, thank you, Passion. Lemon says, and about what I said, there's a lot of fishing spots nearby, though, except the Nasty Creek. I highly doubt that any fish live there, though. Oh, no, it's a bunch of brain-eating amoebas in there. Yeah. It's nice here that I have many windows open. Oh, that's really cool. That's very cool. All right, so I started a carnivore diet a couple years back because I didn't like the selection of products and how polluted the pesticides they are found. A local butcher who has fresh beef and milk. Yeah, I know farmers from around the country I was mentored by, and they, she was teaching me about the. It's best for people if they can to get it from a farm, either have their own farm or get it from a farm directly. It's much just like how I grow things in the yard that are better to eat than a grocery store. If you get that, that's a really great deal. Do they not have 13 floors of some buildings? Not so United States. There's iffy things about 13 floors because of the superstition around it being haunted or cursed. That's good, Lizard. You see, there's vitamin B12 that's lacking in the vegetarian vegan diet. Now, people can be vegetarian or vegan. They just need the vitamin B12 supplements, and they could pull it off. But yeah, it's a lacking of vitamin B12. When I was growing up, at some point, I was vegetarian when I was little, but I was like, I want to eat meat again. And I'm glad I went back to meat. People might disagree with that, but as I said, people don't want to eat meat. They get vitamin B12 supplements instead, and that's fine. People want to be vegetarian. It's understandable because of the animals and stuff, but people don't have to. And if I do get the chance to fish, I'll give you guys an update. Oh, I like to see it. Oh, that's a very, like, that red and that flower right there is velvet. It's a very elegant, shiny glow to it. You wouldn't really think would be there, but it's there. And we have tropical weather right now coming through. There's another flower right there. I love trout and catfish so many more other types of fish, salmon, tuna. Oh, yesterday for lunch I had Asian noodles and salmon. It was delicious. Oh, good morning, Anna. Uh, Anna Bleedo. Great to see you. Oh yeah, fish is great, and fried fish is good too. Of course, I like that. Hot or cold? Yeah, I'm the same way. Also, I like sushi. Some people don't like sushi, but I think sushi's very good. And and for those vegetarians, there's sushi for vegetarians too. Also, eating fresh, non-GMO, non-processed eliminates inflammation. The body expensive, but will change your life. Yeah, these are non-GMO right here. All of this is all natural. It's nice having a yard to grow stuff in, I'll say. And in winter, they die off, and will grow more the next spring. Oh, Anna, you like it too. There's some things in that tree and just moved. Yeah, I also think that's cool. Okay, and let's see. Saw. I don't know if they're going to be happening today. There's the Lindsay trial that's in development, but it hasn't come out just yet. Within this week, they should be done with jury selection, and we'll watch that one. Today, I'll do like explain to y'all what it's about. I'll do a replay of a trial until until like a new one comes up. Yeah, a deep dive. And we'll tell you everything you need to know about the trial. There's birds. All right. Glyphosate is in almost everything provided by large corporations that control food supply. Supply. It's strange, almost like they want to keep us sick and tired. Yeah, they make a lot of money from all that. Yeah. Oh, a deep dive would be fun. Prepare for the case with indictment. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to eat dinner now. See you guys later. Okay, see you later, Lemon. Take care. Indictment, and then the required elements for the charges on it. Yes, exactly. Facts. There's birds moving around in these trees, by the way. But it's pretty cool. Did you see the... Yes, Mark, I saw that. Scared. Well, it seems with Tyler Robinson, the evidence seems to point that he did the attack, but there's some conspiracy theories that he either didn't do it or he had some help with it, or maybe other countries or entities had Charlie taken out and they somehow blamed him for it. Well, the thing is that some of the stuff that they have, the evidence is kind of shaky. Some people think that he might be able to get off the hook. So there's all kinds of conspiracy theories. I don't know what happened. I do think it seems like he did it from what they're saying, but we will see. There's some holes in the narrative, though. Some unanswered questions. Some interesting conspiracy theories about it. We'll see how it all goes. One law tuber said they were ladies' clothes. What is masculinity? Yeah. They do. They have a lot of different cars and things, that group. The Tates. And they seem to get around. And Tristan looked like a mobster outfit. Yeah, but I saw about the Andrews outfit. People were saying it was basically like a woman's outfit. And Sauce said, explain briefly, Tyler Robinson is the person that assassinated Charlie Kirk, allegedly. Okay, Passion said, is masculinity confidence to express yourself however you please or conforming to standards set by the media? I would say it's confidence to express oneself how they want to. Because I believe personally that masculinity is about competence and confidence. And it doesn't matter what people think or haters and stuff. The more you have haters, the more attention that you get to your brand. I have haters all over YouTube. and there's people that like me at the same time, and either way it generates attention to my brand, right? So I believe that, yeah, it's confidence. Like, I think women and men, women in general, they like confidence. If in somebody, like a lot of times there's debate, like, do women like rich? Do they like, women like to be provided for? I think they like a guy that was, give, help them out, whatever, or at least traditionally. But a lot of times also confidence. Like, a man can be confident, secure, not a pushover. So if something happens, a man can defend himself or his position. So I think all that is signs of, confidence, that is an attractive trait. And someone isn't like wealthy, or they're not there yet, they're working on themselves and self-improvement, working on a goal, whatever it is, ambition, right? Not sitting in a room all day being sad, or, you know, playing, not being productive. Like, people could play video games and do YouTube or be productive as a YouTuber or a streamer of some kind. But a lot of people are not productive, and they just do silly things, and they want just the things of this world. There's men that went into World War II, World War One, or whatever, on both sides of a conflict. Men were sent off to be slaughtered in a war, and men were the ones able to enforce things in those times in the past. Women can do it too, of course. There are stories of women doing that as well. But with men, that's what they were usually selected for. And over time, when society got more comfortable, it made society have problems. That is kind of like my view of the whole thing. But yeah, definitely confidence and competence are exactly what I think are the desired traits. If like a house is burning down, you want a fireman that's going to go in there and save the day, right? Or a policeman to help you out, or somebody like that. If you get in a situation, you don't want somebody that's like the meme, not literal soy, because soy could be eaten in all kinds of food, but like a soy jack or something. Okay, and so that's my thoughts on that matter. And let's see, did you see a chair go through the table when Charlie went down? Now, my friend Michael told me that he thinks with the Charlie Kirk assassination, the bullet went into Charlie and it ricocheted inside his skull, and that's why there wasn't a projectile entering outwards. And there was a live bullet found separate rooftop, supposedly belonging to law enforcement. Also, there was a pew a holster found in the grass standing area and was forensically tested. All right. And terrible evidence at the preliminary hearing, weird exchanges that seemed staged. DNA pointed to the suspect along with many others. Okay, and they want division, so YouTube will send more to your channel if we push dislikes more, so I heard. Yeah, because, Mark, any attention is good attention. Yeah. And there's people that will complain about me for days and weeks and months every day. And there's other people that admire me too. It just, The worst thing that is to have no haters. So yeah, it's just like if somebody was just gonna, like, if someone that doesn't believe in something, you're not gonna have any kind of value. So it's a good sign to, because to have haters, because there's also people that will support you too. It's either way you win. Like I win either way, no matter what. Like it just is what it is. And all of you also win too, because you're on the spaceship. And DNA pointed to suspect along with many others. Okay. Thank you, Passion. And I think a lack of desire to contribute to society you're talking about is enforced by society too. We don't really encourage going to work anymore. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Passion. People have gotten, I'd say, like a laziness to them, or have had like you see, when the society is too comfortable to go in, like, the lack of motivation. So there's a thing where people get comfortable, and if they feel like doing something, I'll do it when I feel like it, or and then society got comfortable in their feelings, right? And then when that happened, it started to get like what you're talking about. But back in the past, people had to do it to survive, and the concept of doing something you don't want to do did not really, over the years has gone away. But yeah, like even if someone doesn't want to do something, they do it through discipline. Like, and that is, if you show up every single day, you'll never miss a lucky day. Right? So if you tell, like, people are angry over something, or like there's people that have a Ferrari, or have like a Bugatti, right? There's people that have enough money to afford that on a car. That should motivate people to want to do more to improve themselves. But a lot of times they eat their chips and they get comfortable and whatever, and then things don't work. But money isn't everything, as I said, right? It could be something else. It could be another situation where, somebody wants to go to the beach. They want to go to another area. They want to have a goal for a YouTube channel. Or whatever, right? Using the looking around and seeing what other people do, and then you could do that too. That's the motivation to do what needs to be done. It may not be a car. It could be a simple project. It could be anything. Because money isn't everything. And I'll say, like pirates, it wasn't the treasure that was the real gift for the pirates. It was the journey getting to the treasure. The journey is the treasure, the experience. Even if something doesn't work out, you learn something new, and you have unlimited amounts to try over and over again to get something right. So it's like life's like a Nintendo game in a way. So yeah, it definitely, the desire has to be there, but people put their effort and motivation to other things rather than the right things. If the media is one of your biggest earners, then you need people watching things to get revenue. That is correct. And tech industry is the same. Companies and consumers are the market, but there's no synergy. Yes. Exactly. It's like you doing something to get a reaction, and that's how it works. You have to have the consumers, and the companies want to get the audience, and they spend on advertising, and that's how the cycle continues. So people have different various ways of doing that at the same time. So that is what the situation is. It's that, and the thing about haters, if anyone's dealing with haters, is that, if it comes from the top, it's a good thing, because you'll get a bunch of free advertising, and if it's from the bottom, you get free advertising, and like a lot of times it doesn't come from the top, because people are usually living happy, good lives. Don't have a reason to criticize somebody, but if they do, either way, it's a positive thing. And a lot of times when people have problems with like bullying is a problem, of course, cyberbullying and bullying in schools. And that's a problem, but there's, all about your way of interpreting the events. It's like, from Stoicism. It's like how do you, your view, it's not what's happening to you, but the view you take of it. It's a crowded, parking lot, a crowded line. It's messed up, right? Or it's just a festival of people. It depends on your perspective of reality. And then the people get even more angry if you don't accept failure and loss and you just keep on going. They get even more angry. It's just, yeah. So that's my mentality and view on things from on that topic. Yeah. And Mark says, where to get a car, to get gas, to get Rego, to get warranty, to get insurance, new tiers, phone bill, rent, power bill, land rates, water rates, food, etc. Yeah, and all that costs money. Exactly. It all costs money. And people don't understand, and they get stuck in the rat race. They get in this cycle of just doing that over and over again, and they don't get angry about it. You can have a rat, my pleasure, passion, and you could get a rat, right? And he's going to work. He's going to take some mushrooms and see the dream car, the dream life, right? And why do they want something? They want freedom, right? And people will get comfortable, just like we talk about on here every day. They want to make people sick enough to die young and to not live, but healthy enough to be a slave wage force. So in the same way, they want to keep people comfortable where they have a car, they have the bills, and like what Mark's talking about, right? Water rates, inflation, wars all over the world, the country with a U ends with an A that causes an earthquake somewhere. You have all these things happening, and a lot of people don't look up. Like when a UAP and I are on the show, we look at UFOs all day, and no one's looking up, right? So you get these concepts in people's minds, is that they would get angry, right? A lot of people want the mentality of when they're socialism, where they'll go and everybody's equal and they take from the rich and everybody's the same. But one group gets everything and everybody's left with nothing. Or the concept that if someone else did it, you could do it. But a lot of times people get stuck in the endless loop of comfortable, and they don't want to break out the comfort zone. So it's like being in a video game, like a GTA. All this has happened, including me doing live streams, ranting in the garden, all happened before GTA 6 dropped. And in GTA, you have levels, and you have a character in GTA, right? And you just upgrade the character, or any video game. And when you look at other characters, you want to upgrade your level. That should be the mentality people have in real life. You could upgrade a video game character, but not your own character in real life. A lot of people don't have that logic. So, yeah, I just think if people used it as a motivator and looked around, people could be in better situations if they applied themselves. But society was just designed by the higher ups to keep people complacent and in control. Blizzard said the holster was not tested. That bullet is meant to penetrate and it's fully jacketed, would not stop it. Bone concentrate the steel that range, it would have been very gruesome. Gotta let the ballistics team have a turn at testifying before I take position on 30-06. Yeah, it's definitely fishy. And when something's fishy, it doesn't really look right. It's like what Mark likes to say, very wise. They'll wee on your leg and say it's raining, right? But it's not really raining. Someone's weeing on you. So a lot of times we'll see that in trials and different things. They'll tell you that BS is golden, but it's actually not. So it's something that, if you, as I said, we talk about politics, all kinds of things besides the alien stuff. If you think there's something not right going on in the world, or something not right with a trial or a case, then it probably is what you think it is. There's a lot of shady things going on behind the smoke and mirrors and the phantoms in the background of the opera of this world. So that's why people have to be, use your common sense and intuition if you think something's not right, because a lot of times it isn't right. Remember one of my friends who told me, if you ever feel there's something not right about somebody, or there's something about them, there probably is something about them. Yeah. So uh, that is my perspective on those things about uh, like the media and stuff. I mean, not the media, but the what's his name? The little dude that deleted Charlie Kirk, Robinson. Yeah, it's just if people think there's something not right about it or it doesn't make any sense, it's not. It's probably what you think it is. It's like something's not right there. Yeah. So scared. The main trial dissociance comes from the blindfold. We, as viewers, might know something, but if justice can't see it, then it doesn't matter. Oh, I know, and that's the thing about the lawyer tricks and trial tricks. If there's something that's not there, then it's proven not guilty until they could find evidence for it. But then again, it's not even really true justice, because you could hide the red box in there, right? And there's no red box over here, so there's no red box in the yard, but there really is a red box lurking around. So yeah, it's like it's justice with quotations on the end. Yeah, exactly. And Mark said, watch Sean Ryan interview with Brian Harpole. He was in charge of Charlie's security, and he's full of it. Yeah. It's like people inside his group could have been a little sneaky. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you see, a lot of times, like with conspiracy theories, there is instances where I will like look at something, and the conspiracy theories will explain what happened, and it makes perfect sense that it's not what they kept saying it was. And it's like, oh, okay, this is why these people clearly were onto something, but they stopped them. Yeah, so that's why, like, I think, when the conspiracy theories, eventually the truth comes out that they really were right. So that's why we have to hope that true justice would prevail. Yeah, so that is what is how to view things. So hopefully the truth eventually comes out. I mean, there are people that were serial killers that are old now, and they're finally caught red-handed because of the DNA testing. So like I was saying, you win no matter what you do. DNA and the truth, and I believe in the universe, even not in this life. I believe that the universe pays back people for what they did, and karma and stuff like that. So and especially, history is infamous. You could have a case solved 300 years from now, and the truth will come out. So I believe that. Oh, awesome, Passion. Defeat those Timu Sheen robots. Yeah. So that is something that I believe is very important. because you have this situation occur where the truth will come out eventually, and that liars are great magicians. That's something that Mark would like to hear, because he would agree with, because it's like a bunch of magic tricks. And I believe, like, with anything, like, karma is a real thing. Like universe will pay people back for what happened, what they did, either this life or the next. And it will just, so when you have these concepts, everything will be okay in the long term. I said, it could be 300 years from now, something gets solved or something gets straightened out, and the truth was revealed, and the person's name is vindicated, or they're exposed to fraud. And it's like a Titanic, for instance, right? So when there's this dude, Mr. Ismay, who's the one that was in head of the company, he thought that the lifeboats were stupid and that they were, making the ship look ugly. Yes, exactly. They think they found Jack the Ripper. Yeah, they found him through DNA. It was an immigrant from Eastern Europe. Yes, and they finally found out who it was. You see? 100 years later, they figured out the case. That's why it's just infinite. Like, you get unlimited, in this short lifetime that we have, you have unlimited chances to win. If something bad happens to you, just remember this: I win, I win, I win. Like, either way, you just win. It doesn't really matter. Like, you just have unlimited wins. If something doesn't go right, you learn the lessons from it and keep going. And exactly, Mark, of the Palm Beach Pete, yeah. And that is the thing. 100 years later, they figure out who it was. And I said, like, they could figure out cases that we're doing now that it wasn't what we thought it was for long after we're gone. So as I said, it's infinite timeline. Like, they could find out all kinds of things. So that's why, as I said, just in everybody, like, the truth will come out eventually at the right time. It'll all come out. Long after we're gone or in our lifetime, truth about all these things will come out. I believe in God, of course, and you don't have to believe in God, and I believe he's righteous and just. People may not agree with that, or have questions at least about it, because our world's kind of a messed up place. But yeah, like, I believe it's the universe, karma, a combination of things, will pay back the true justice of what really is right. Us humans are flawed. We try to make the best we could, but we're flawed people with flawed systems. So that is why I am, very confident about just the cycle, the nature of the world as we know it. The circle of life will complete itself. So, yeah. So that's a good thing. The good news is we will win. The good side will win in the end. Everything will be right in the long term. But hard times is important, and the struggle is important for us as the dots connect, for the truth in our own selves to be completely molded and ironed. Like, so when you forge something in iron, like a sword or something, it becomes stronger. You have all this, crud stuff that comes when you're making a sword. Then you clean off and keep the metal. And there's foam that comes from the sea, from the water, right? And you clear out the foam and you just keep the water to drink. But that phase was necessary to get the good stuff that needed. So, yeah. So, I think that a lot of times, like, wicked people, we were rewatching the Sarah Boone trial, and she really thought she had herself a good victory after putting bro in a suitcase. But the joke was on her when she was found guilty, right? And it's like, they will not accept what they did. Like, they think what they did was right, but it wasn't right, because it is serving their own purposes. But the universe pays people back for what they do. As I said, long after we're gone, there could be somebody that's innocent that's locked up. There could be that will get vindication 100 years from now. And their legacy is just like, passing down is certain, but we only live for a short time. So the legacy will live on forever. There's people now that we know about hundreds of years ago or 1,000 years ago that we know about now, because it's just the legacy of history is 100% just. Yeah. And I always wondered how they cut Lady in half. I saw her toes wiggle, then cut her half, put her back together. Amazing. Oh, Mark, I think those Houdini type tricks are brilliant. There was a person, a daredevil type person, a magician that was trying to, on the day Houdini died, he was trying to recreate it. So he was going to do a crazy stunt where he was going to chain himself and put himself inside a coffin that was made of glass. And he was going to break out under a minute. And guess what? They're going to bury him in concrete that was wet. And in a minute, he was going to break out and climb out. Now, it didn't work the way you'd think. But yeah, he tried it out and it didn't quite work. But we learned what he did wrong is that the glass coffin was not made right. It wasn't glass, it was some other type of material. And there's a couple of things with his stunt that didn't go right. So now they know the lesson on how it learned. But he did do successful stunts. And I think those stunts and tricks people do are awesome that are doing it right. And if anybody makes a mistake, we'll learn from the mistake. You know, like even Oliver Tree, rest in peace. He was trying to do something and two helicopters crashed into each other. And then the helicopter crashed into a bunch of energy cars and really blew up. So, but we know the mistakes about what they did, so people next time can do better. It all makes sense over time, even if it doesn't make sense right away. Yes, I saw that, Mark. Yeah. Yeah, so it's another thing is there's something funny that goes around, and I'm only talking about myself in my own theories. I'm not talking about anybody else. But there is this funny thing that I would see is where they would encourage sleep for men and to lower stress by putting yourself in if anyone does this, I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking about myself and things that I saw. Although I don't do this, but I'm just talking about my own interpretation of life. So we lost the technology to go back to the moon, amazingly. Yeah, I know. And for all the stuff that we have, we can't go back to the moon. Yeah. So what happened was there was this situation that occurred where they would encourage men to like lower stress and to sleep in a room that's quiet, that's cold, with like a little blindfold on, and to lower stress as much as possible. But there was an incident, but all the men in the past were in high stress situations and fighting wars and getting new territories and making businesses or whatever, right? Or working on railroads or bagging groceries or picking up trash. I mean, most men in the world, a lot of them pick up trash. Like a lot of these people say like all the men are like rich and stuff, but it's like a lot of them do like garbage disposal, and they're not, like someone with $1 million. That's, although they probably make a lot of money, still it's something that people wouldn't expect, right? And there are plumbers and all kinds of things. So the idea of lowering the stress, and they say it's good for testosterone and health and stuff, but it's like you create a society when people are getting like a sponge, right? People get soft. So I like the idea better of that stress is a good thing that is necessary, Oh, shout out to Doe. 6 months of being a spaceship macaroni crew member. Oh, awesome. That is cool. And that is what I think is important. So, yeah, so that makes more sense to me. Where, yeah, people could sleep here and there, but like just going by pure adrenaline, just keep on going. And like I've been up for days before. Like when we're doing this trial stuff, I sometimes stay up for days. And even although I'm not, as I said, like doing my own thing, I'm not encouraging anyone to do, whatever. All I'm saying is that I believe, like with me, like I give people the content, right? My audience and the trials, and people like it for various reasons, and they seem to really like the community that we've built. And I'm on multiple streaming chat rooms that I go hang out on, and they like me too. So I do that because it's my duty to provide for them and give them a good time. And it doesn't matter if I don't feel like it or if I was tired or something. You do what you got to do. But if you go by the mainstream narrative, you have to be comfortable and be emotional and to get sleep and all. But as I said, it's just sometimes you have to do what you got to do. And I did not sleep at all, by the way. I took a walk at like pretty much the whole night. Then I came over here, and I just keep on going. Like I'm like a drone or some kind. So yeah, I think that, yeah, of course, people could sleep sometimes, or I personally sleep sometimes, maybe. Yeah, I'm giving my pove. Yes, I could sleep sometimes, hypothetically, maybe. But I think that it's important for myself to do what I got to do. Right. Yes, and I like ice cream. It's very good. And thank you for that. Yeah, strawberry ripple ice cream. I'll definitely would want to stay awake and have that. That is cool. But yeah, so I just think that Rocky Road ice cream and chocolate chip. Oh, I love chocolate chip. And my other favorite is mint and chip. Yeah, and in your freezer. Oh, delicious. Yeah, and my favorite ice cream is mint and chip. It was Chowder's favorite ice cream, and it was like back when I was growing up. And mint and chip is very delicious. And I used to eat that and play my Nintendo games. It was good times. Yeah. I would have it when I go to my grandparents' house. I still get ice cream when I go to my grandparents' house to do things to the internet so we could have a good streaming experience. And they usually give me an ice cream cone when I go over there. Yeah, caw, caw, caw. I see what you're saying, Taw. Yeah, caw, caw, caw. That's what the crow is ranting to us right now from the tree. Yeah. You got mint and chip well in the freezer. Oh, awesome, Mark. Awesome. Yeah, and that is you see, and the crows know. Yeah, you see, the crow is ranting right now, and the crow is talking about us. Yeah, and also, you know, absolutely. Now, there's the autocorrect has a mind of its own, and like, so I click on, I tap on your name and I see caw caw caw, but the autocorrect said wine wine wine. Yeah, so it just it's a Timu Sheen autocorrect, right? And yeah, and that's definitely what's happening in the background. The crow of Alien Cove is having himself a chatty morning. Yeah. Oh, you thought you were crazy? Yeah, yeah. Because and I will see it has like an Asian symbol with the A. So they'll like completely change the letters. The intention was to try to help us out, but it does more harm than good. Autocorrect. Autocorrect's kind of demonic in a way. Autocorrect is a cryptid. So all of them bloomed. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Every single one of them bloomed. So we got like a bush of okra now. That's incredible. You can see that one right there. Yeah, exactly, Saul. Yeah, it's weird. Well, you seesaw. I just said seesaw. Huh. The stove has been broken for a while, so I I have to get a new thing. And they see that the cat has a problem. They think the cat has problems when people come in, but the cat's okay, right? But they think the cat gets nervous, so it's a little bit difficult to get things fixed. But and there's also the floor having problems. So yeah, there's this thing I'm gonna get to cook stuff like on a like how you'd cook something on a stove. And then I'll do some fried okra and probably do a stream about it and show y'all. But yeah, for now, although I like okra salad, even if I had everything there to do what I got to do, I have okra salad for now. But as I said, I would eat it anyway, and it's very good. Mark, over in you with a country ending in A. Yes, I'll get that too, Saul. Thank you. Yeah, I like air fryers from what I read about them and like saw videos about. And yeah, because okra, it's a lot of times it's fried, and with the fried okra, it's really cool to have fried okra because you know And I have spices and stuff they use for seasoning, and it's really cool. And when in winter time, when I grow the daikon again, we could have some simmered daikon. It's gonna be nice. All right. So, as I said, I do like salads. I do like salads, and I eat them anyway. But also, yeah, there's not really a variety of options of cooking things right now. But you know, but my salads are delicious. And I will say, with the salad, it cooks it with like some of the acidic stuff, like the sauces and things, cooks the okra without cooking it. Oh, that's really cool, Saw. Oh, Lori sent a flower. Awesome. We got more uh, jewels and rubies. Facts. This man said, cooking is a fine art of burning things. Yes, yes. Yeah, it's like SpongeBob when the Krusty Krab when Squidward went in there to try to steal some Krabby Patties because he low key liked the Krabby Patties, and he walked in there. She burns food all the time, and burning a Krabby Patty, and he walks in there and he sees a water puddle and he thinks he's funny, right? And he sees like a bucket, and it's dumps water everywhere, and he thinks he's funny. Then a match appears out of nowhere and blows him up. And that's what basically cooking is. Then he goes into another room, then he blows up again. Then he gets the Krabby Patties, and they're like, haha, you like Krabby Patties? Because he was like, he didn't like Krabby Patties, but he likes them a lot. He was a closeted Krabby Pattyist. Krabby Patty sexual. That's what he was. Technically. So, yeah, and a lot of times in that show, they would go and burn stuff in there, in the Krusty Krab, and that's basically what cooking is, and the whole place is burning down. So, yeah. Yeah, cooking is certainly, and Mark says, make a good arsonist. Yes, yes. And an arsonist in training when one cooks. Yeah. Scared. I saw a girl accidentally change my keyboard to a T9 and had it Google how to fix it. Oh, scared. Yeah. Sometimes it'll do what it wants to do. If anything, Lori, it was a Timu 9. It was Grounds 9. Scared. I see, that's the blue I'm liking, chat. That's like the most prettiest blue you could possibly get. Mark said, I left water running in a sink, forgot, and went to the bath. What a mess. Oh, scared. Scared. Or he says, I was lost. I haven't used that format for like 20 plus years. Oh, okay. You went into a time machine. It's a subject matter jurisdiction. Yeah, so absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, unlawful keyboard. Maritime keyboard. Yeah. I'm not good at multitasking. I get ahead of myself, Mark says. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's blue again. It's like the trees look dark and the sky is like a dark blue. Oh. They're over this way. Those cats. Let's see. There's Bubbles right there. The other cat's in the other yard. The Claudster's in the other yard, sleeping. And that's the Bubbles. I will do that right now. Yeah. Exactly, Mark. Yeah, very amazing. Yeah. I love the wind chimes. They sound very good. Yeah, I know. It was just a magic, a magic table. Yeah, the cat just appears. Yeah, so those are the wind chimes, and as I said, that blue is like undulation. Wow, yeah, pure undulation. Oh, thank you, Saw. I'm glad you like it. There's all kinds of robots that are running around. There's this robot that runs, it like dances and stuff, and sometimes it's clumsy and it falls over. It's kind of fun. It's really funny. And one of the robots was in Poland and was there, and all these boars were running in the city, right, in this parking lot, and they're being chased by a little robot. And that happened before GTA 6. I mean, it's just pretty crazy that these people would see that. I mean, these robots that are around, it's like science fiction, especially the AI. But yeah, they can be pretty funny, and that's like something I would never ban is a robot that like could just go on a stage when there's like an opera going on, and he just does some killer dance moves. It's like you just can't be mad at that. Yeah, and then they get clumsy too. Like they'll just like fall over right on their face. So they have to work on its balance. Oh, that's nice right there. That's awesome. Yeah, it's just you see like these clouds. It's like being like in a simulation. Like there is Minecraft and stuff like that, right? And it's like you could have like a complete simulation of reality go on. I mean, look how big these things are. Wow. And when you have a simulation of reality, it's like Minecraft, and you just pretty much could do anything and think of anything. Scared. Imagine a robot being your lover. You could make love while it's mopping the floor. Yeah. The robots are able to twerk. Of course I would know that. Yeah, the robots twerk. And they had one time a robot twerking and his battery went out. So, yeah, that's probably going to be a new thing with the robot lovers. Yeah. And they're going to have, so the future predicts that they're probably going to have people, they already do it now, but they're going to have like AI animated girlfriends and boyfriends for people. It's going to be a thing that's going to happen at some point. Like, it's happening now, but it's going to be more prevalent in the future. They're going to be completely reliant on technology stuff. That's perfect right there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Claudster. He heard us talking about him. He came to tell Saul and chat hello. Nope, Mark, absolutely not. It's probably gonna be like the robot will do, unless it's programmed to argue, it'll do what it wants to do. It'll do what the person wants it to do. No arguing. Yeah. And there's movies about it, like the AI girlfriend thing. It just like the perfect idea of someone could have of something. But the key is it's not a real person though, so it's like, but people at some point are not going to really care about human interaction. Saul says hello, Claude. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mark, exactly. Yeah, because the battery is gonna have to, stay there, and you could always always pull it out if you need to. Yeah, you got to get a good battery for it. Doesn't complain, cleans, does what you want to do. Claude's theme song is "Hungry Like the Wolf." That's his theme song. Yeah. And his white socks are always clean. They're always clean. See, he knows we're talking about him. It could do that, Mark. That's possible, but apparently these other versions will not do that. That'll be coded out of it. Okay. What's going on here? Uh-oh. We're going to have some activity? Or we're going to be good cats for the live stream? We're going to be respectful to each other? Is that what we're going to be doing? Yeah, if Axe saw, exactly. Yeah. Really? Saw. That's awesome. Yeah, Eye of the Tiger is good too. All right, so what they're doing is they're being civilized felines, and they are relaxing with each other. Michael Jackson's favorite song is "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles." Yeah, and there he is right there, Bubbles himself. There you go. Yeah. Scared. All right, and he goes over there. His chimp was named Bubbles. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Scared. Spacecraft is flying over us. All right. Looks like it's a cat's dinner. I mean, breakfast is going to be there. All right. Let's go this way. Yeah, so that was Claude. That's Claude. And let's see about bringing him this way. Let's try to move Claude out the way. Oh, Morning Glory. Yeah. Okay. He wants to stay right here, but he has to go this way. He doesn't want to move. Okay. Yeah, he was trying to. I was trying to get him away from the door. Okay, and there he is right there. He's stretching. He's using his a claw. He bit you. He must be excited. Yeah. Okay, cats are going to be eating their breakfast. You know, with the blue beam, have they got a pink beam for ladies? Yes, they have a pink beam. That's true. Okay, and here is the Morning Glory flower. Right here. They're awesome. Thank you, Saul. That was weird how blue things didn't burn and Maui fires up with that. Oh, the Maui fires are certainly foul play going on with that. they're trying to buy up their land over there and do foul, and do destroy the properties on purpose for their own gain. Yeah. All right, that's the tropical weather right there. It's kind of cloudy. Apparently, there was a melted aluminum. Yeah. See, when you look at the facts, a lot of these conspiracies are true. And that's usually the sign that something happened, with them. With because when you have things that are melting, you have a variety of different factors that are not burning, and why things are burning in the first place. It's actually some messed up origins of it. Yeah. I remember when that happened. It was completely cringe. Oprah was given out pillows and shampoos. She's worth millions. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Oprah was one of the people that were trying to buy out the land over there to give it to the people down over that way, in that part of the world, in Maui. Her, Zuckerberg, and all those people. Apparently Zuckerberg, I'm not completely certain, but definitely they were trying to buy out the land. I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was one of them. And they were trying to buy the land, and the people got really angry. So yeah, Oprah and them, they're worth all that money. And then there's people that had firsthand accounts of being down there, and it was all foul play with that. So yeah, I don't trust the mainstream narrative about that fire. It was very cringe. But yeah, so definitely they both are disappointing idiots. And the Rock's an opportunist. And Oprah is a complete moron. And like Michael Jackson even trolled her. There was a clip of Michael Jackson, and she asked him how he did a line, and he started just beatboxing and making a bunch of sounds. And he never answered the question. Bro was like the best troll, and yeah. So he even knew what was going on with her. She definitely cringe with the way that he came out of touch with the rest of society, like the royalty of France and these different countries. They had royalty and monarchies, and they just came out of touch with everybody in their own little castle, and they started malfunctioning, and then they got messed up, and everything just went downhill, and there was a revolution because people had enough. So, Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake, right? And you see, when you do that, it's like kind of like an asinine or an arsonine thing. When you have that happen, it's like, so that's basically what the modern celebrities are, basically our modern version of corrupted royalty, like they had in France and those countries, in Europe, Russia, different places, these different, not that monarchies are bad, but some of the monarchies failed because of the they were just so indulgent in themselves. I'm mainly talking about France, not really Russia so much, but Russia's one of them. But they just wanted all this money. They want to buy out everything. They don't really care about what their people are doing, and it just causes a bunch of chaos. Okay, I pressed something by mistake, I think. Let's see. Let's do this. I don't even know if y'all can see me, but that's okay if you don't see me. It went out for a second. So let's just do this again. By mistake, and it shut off the stream, but I'm back. Anyway, so Rock likes kids. Did you see him with the robot that likes kids? Yes, Mark, I saw that one. Do you think Justin Trudeau was Castro's son? I think yes. Yeah, I think he was. He either is his son or he's related to him somehow. Yeah, I agree. Sauce said, like Will Smith, I cannot support The Rock anymore. I can't watch the movies in good faith. I can't support them through their ticket sales. Oh, I know. It's just what they just, when you watch a movie, it just kills the vibe of what these people do. It's just completely cringe how they handle themselves. And all those other people, it's a really incredibly kills the vibe. It's really stupid, and they just, as I said earlier, people reap what they sow, and eventually the truth comes out and it comes back to them. That's basically what that is. I remember, Chris Rock did the slapping in the face, over a joke. It was some stupid thing that he did, and he was being a soy jack. That's what he was acting like. Good morning, Moki. It's great to see you. Welcome to the Garden Live. Got extreme heat warning. That's nice. Yeah, it's just the thing is that the celebrities, they're completely lost, and they get arrogant, and it gets the better of them, and a lot of them are into this creepy stuff that, like, we've talked about, like Epstein stuff, and it's just that they act entitled. I said they want fame, they want money, they get emotional, they don't have any stoicism to them, and they just think they can just do whatever they want, but it just leads to hedonism that leads to the destruction of the society. Angela Merkel from Germany is Hitler's daughter or something like that. Have you heard of that one? Yes, I heard of that one, Mark. Yes. Yeah, and all my chat will never go hungry because of all this okra I'm growing. Wow. Growing some purple flowers. Yeah, but you see, the thing with the Maui fires, it was outrageous to the locals that were there, and they'll do this thing where they'll devalue a place, like a property, and they buy it for less, for pennies. It's kind of like that movie It's a Wonderful Life, when they were trying to what's his name, Potter was trying to buy out everything for $1 when the stock market crashed, and they're like, we know what you're doing, dude, and they're trying to tell him to not do it. People are not fall for it. It's basically what the celebrities are doing. Hitler's nephew lives on Long Island have changed their names. Yes, that is true. They did change their names, and there's one Goring's descendant castrated themselves, and they decided to not have offspring, and they live somewhere. But yeah, the descendants of those people definitely have a hard time. I am not a descendant of Hitler, but some, with my hair a certain way, people think that I look like him. But you know, I'm part German, so that's where I get that from. But on both sides, technically. But yeah, so it's certainly be awkward. Be related to people like that, of course. But I mean, I could look like both sides, like the people from the different regimes of Europe. If that makes any sense. Look similar to me for some reason, but anyway, Moki said I do not look like Hitler. Well, when my hair's cut very short, a certain way, it does. People have said I do. Yeah, I know. Just people say all kinds of things. Yeah. And Moki said the jury's expected to be seated today, and Clancy Kathy said opening's probably not until Friday though. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I bet they changed mustaches as well. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is definitely with the mustache. That would just add to the effect of it. Yeah, I've seen some of the descendants of him, alleged descendants or other types of descendants, and yeah, they definitely do resemble him. I wonder if there's some sort of war going on. Those are some military jets. Duke said, my father would raise his voice speaking German, and he looked and sounded like Hitler. Oh, scared. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely can be spooky when that happens. Yeah. If I have my hair and beard or whatever, I could look like all kinds of different people. I could look like totally different people if I have my hair or my beard styled differently, or with no beard. I could be like a spy if I wanted to. Yes, I am, Oki. I'm going to choose a new trial for us to watch, and we'll watch a replay. Yeah. All right, and right here is another... Right here is another cucumber growing, which is really cool. I like that. And there's another one in that direction too. Yeah, so you have that growing. That's a pumpkin right there. It's growing like a vine on a tree. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's the Ezra trial was crazy. That one was crazy. Yeah, and this it chimes again. And Mark said, "See that? Yeah, that's a good one. Taylor's for business. Yeah, I'll go play that one." Mark says, "See that Kim guy in North Korea? No one is allowed to same haircut as him. I would like to play that slap in the face game with him, and I'm first." Yeah, you see, he's well fed. Kim Jong Un. He's very well fed. He's an example of like feudalism. It's like none of these communist countries ever achieved what they claimed that their ideology achieves. He basically achieved European feudalism, but like something way worse with and it was a atheists aren't bad, but with an atheistic state that doesn't believe in anything, and they had this mythology there where they believe their leader was like a god or something, and he was special, and the whole world celebrates his birthday. And actually, the world celebrates my birthday, but not Kim Jong Un's father's birthday. You see, it's actually the way around. It's alien spaceship's birthday. But anyway, the thing is that they have propaganda videos in North Korea that are hilarious. So they have propaganda videos of all of us are in ice cold snow, and we all live in tents, and we eat birds to stay alive, and snow coffee. If they saw my garden lives, they would have a stroke and shock. All of us are supposed to be cold and snow, eating just birds and mockingbirds and poverty. And they have like the lady talking over saying, "Oh, these poor Americans and their government hates them," blah blah blah. And it's so goofy. So yeah, and North Korea is very dark at night. It's basically like a giant slave state. It's kind of it's a disturbing situation. It was a very small little country, and it was tight knit, and they took over their people. But yeah, it just is basically like feudalism, where he's like a king with his monarchy and his vassals and stuff, and they have all the food and resources, and everybody else gets a little bit, and they're all like thin. This is basically how it works. And the thing with those ideologies, it's like you have to take all of the wealth and redistribute it equally to everybody, but in the end of the day, you're the one that has everything. So that's how it works. It's kind of it's like a con artist. It's like somebody calling on the phone saying you missed something, and they try to mess with you that way, but it's actually just a con. And that's basically what that ideology is. Mark says, when you clap for him, you have to make sure you don't stop clapping first or else. Oh yeah, that's right. And it was like that with Joseph Stalin. They were scared to stop clapping because they thought if they stopped clapping, they would be next to the gulag. And that was how that worked, also in China too. And you see these other countries had to conform a little bit because walk home and you still are clapping your hands. Yeah, that's right. There is a funeral for Kim Jong-un's father, and people are crying like they lost their only child, 10 times worse. And they were just throwing themselves in the street crying. And yeah, they had to do that so they didn't get sent away somewhere. It's, you see, when you have that, you have inauthentic emotion. The people don't really feel what they're saying. It's a Pokmakin's village where you have like a fake village that's not really there. It's like you have a village that looks really cool, but it's actually just a bunch of fake buildings. That's what North Korea is. Yes, Mark, we walk home and you're still crying and clapping. Yeah. A rumor has it to this day they're still crying and clapping. I'm scared. Yeah, and the in North Korea, there's been YouTubers and streamers that have gone over there before, and the Pyongyang. And I know it's kind of crazy because of like the Walmberg dude who went over there and he didn't come back alive. He didn't come back too alive, but he came back kind of alive. But he didn't really make it. So there was this YouTubers that went there, and yeah, it's stuck in the 70s. You know, the North Korea has a lot of aesthetic from the Third Reich because the Soviets and the Third Reich had a lot of similar types of. They had a similar theme. Oh, it is hot saw, yeah. And I'm the right thing for asking. And that was the thing. It was basically the situation was. That was a mosquito on me, but it wasn't. Okay, so that was the thing. Is like it has similar aesthetic because they exchange different technologies and architecture, and they're just kind of similar ideologies. But yeah, that's what it looks like, and it's all these people wearing suits and dresses, and they play this weird, creepy music in the morning. And it has like a robotic woman directing traffic. And there's a gift shop this time, right? They have a gift shop where people could buy gifts. And they knew from the Walmberg thing, they have a gift shop now. So you don't get yourself, messed up like that. And they have posters for sale. They have like little flags and knickknacks and souvenirs and things. And people can go and eat food, but it's all in the city in Pyongyang. You don't go to other parts of the country though. It's all concentrated in one little place. Yeah, exactly, Mark. You didn't cry properly. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, so the dude was like shaking and he was freaking out. Of course, it's a freaking out, it's a natural to freak out in that situation. But we don't know if it was authentic or they had him do it as an act, right? But of course you're gonna be freaked out if you're in that situation. But yeah, and he was talking about that he was sorry to the people in North Korea. He got himself in trouble. Yeah, Mark, it's terrible. Yeah. He stole a poster, a picture from a motel hallway. Yeah, that's right. It was basically a picture from a motel hallway, and they went hoy, hoy choo, hoy choo, hoo, and they went after him, and they went onto the teleprompter and were like hoy chang hoo choo, choo choo, and then you see the dude speaking in English, and he's like going, and he was sorry for stealing it, and he was like, doing the best he could to look like he was crying correctly, but he didn't really get the crash course that the people in North Korea got about, like, they give you a handbook. I'm serious. They give you a handbook in North Korea. I think in that handbook, they show people how to cry properly on camera. And yeah, it just didn't exactly do it right with them. And it's not like our trials we watch over here where, these people you're guilty already just by default. Like, you know, they could literally just have put a poster in his room and he's guilty. Or he thought about the poster, or he looked at the poster for more than 5 seconds, more than 15 seconds, and he got arrested. There's all kinds of uncharted rules that they have over there. Now, there's a broken radio in one. Exactly, Grace. Yeah, dreadful. There was one case of a dude that was in there, right? And he had a broken radio in there. And they were thinking they were listening to him. Like, they tapped it. They were listening to what bro was saying. So they make the rooms tap so they could hear you. And they had the little people in their little uniforms and stuff. Now, where I am, there's a Vietnamese settlement. And the people where I live, they were fleeing the communists of of North Vietnam, right? So during Vietnam War, there's a bunch of Vietnamese that came here. I mean, like, look at this place. It looks like Vietnam. Like, there's a part, you know what I need to do? I need to take a video of that at some point and show y'all, okay? But it looks just like it looks like Asia. There's giant Buddha statues and Asian temples and stuff. It looks like another country. And east of me, and they have really good Vietnamese food. But all the people there were fleeing what was going on over there, and that's what they're Catholic, right? So Vietnam is Catholic because the French, the same people that settled this area right here, went over there, like Spanish. They weren't Spanish, but the same people like the Spanish, similar people like that. And they went over there and settled Vietnam, and they spread Catholicism there. And of course, communism is atheistic, but Ho Chi Minh actually was, pro-Christianity tactically. And their system's actually balanced. It's not North Korea. It's more like a mixed economy. And they're allies of us now. But yeah, it was just a big mess. And I do think there was opium over there too, and whatever else. Yeah. The South Vietnamese government may have been corrupted, yeah, but it was just an ugly situation, and it was terrible what happened to the soldiers that they were very mean to when they came back here. It just no one really wins a war. It's what happens. I guess that generation was that generation's Gen Z, which I'm kind of like somewhat in that yeah, I'm kind of like in that generation technically, but it's like their generation version of that. Yeah, because the young people coming up were not really respectful to the soldiers and stuff like that. So it was a mess. I'd be a zillennial, it's called. It's like some kind of like, it's a very like a micro generation. But yeah, the Gen Z is the broader umbrella, of course. He's on camera taking a picture off the wall. Oh, he's on camera taking a picture off the wall. Yeah. Scared. Yeah, and That's what they basically would do. So the people in North Korea were, they didn't seem like they were able to really get out of it, but the people in South Korea, you see, South and North Korea didn't have the problem that the other Korea had. I mean, the Vietnam had. Like, they were able to, the Korea War in the 50s, and they were able to somehow make a dividing line, right? And then there was another war that happened with the Vietnam, where they just plowed through to the south part and took it over. Now, there is a statue right here. Now, there's bubbles right there, so I can't really get too close. But see right there, that's a Buddha statue from Vietnam, right there. And there's Claude right there, too. He came in as well. Well, they're finished their dinner. I mean, they're at lunch. I'm a fool. It's actually breakfast, okay? They finished their breakfast. There he is. Okay, I can get closer now. It's kind of covered with plants, but we're going to kind of fix this right here. Okay. It's very old, from a long time ago. Okay. It's not the Buddha that you're, like, the actual prophet of the Buddhist religion. It's some sort of variation of it, but yeah. See, that's it right there. Like an Asian type of Vietnamese statue right there. As I said, it's very old. Yeah, so it definitely would be interesting to do treasure. Yes. Yes, treasure. Yeah, definitely I'll do a video about that at some point. I'll go back over there and do a video for y'all about that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All the flowers have bloomed. That's really cool. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like around at this point in time, this stream will be ending, and I'll soon we'll be doing a new trial live for y'all. This is a very fun garden live. Nice to see everybody here. My pleasure, Saw Girl. Yeah, see y'all in the verdict room. Yeah. Those are coming in. We had a cool live stream, and we're about to end it and do another thing. Oh, thank you, everybody. Passion, Grace, everybody. Okay. And Moki and everyone else lurking. All right. So we'll close out with a flower, and we'll see some of y'all in the verdict room with a trial. All right. In peace.